You know, I think I'll go get some work done today. I've been pretty lazy for a while now, so I feel like I gotta get some videos done with. Well, that's all the time I have for today. I have to get back to playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on my Nintendo Switch. This is gonna be a fun one, because I've been looking forward to doing one of these lists for a long time now, and I think now is the perfect opportunity. That way, so I can cash in on this. I've been playing every Super Smash Bros. Game ever since Melee on the GameCube, and I loved every single game afterwards. And Smash Ultimate is a special case since they got all the characters back, meaning other characters who got the boot in Smash 4 finally have a chance to return. But in actuality, with 70 characters, it's been more difficult than ever to pin down my favorite. And I didn't want to go balls to the walls crazy, make a fake list so I could upload it a few days after the game came out so I could get a ton of subscribers or something. But I need to stress, I pick up Smash characters at random, so this list is very subject to change. Don't be surprised if you see a second edition of this. Also, another thing, I'm not too terribly competitive. I normally play with competitive rules, but that's about it. So don't expect me to rank these depending on their placement in a tier list or whatever. So without further ado, let's get started. Something you're going to see a lot on this list is characters that I'll say I wasn't that great with in Smash 4 or couldn't get a hold of. Due to Smash Ultimate's speed change, it's made me like a lot more characters, as well as something as insignificant as the sound effects. And with these changes, I can finally enjoy Diddy Kong again. A lot of people hate Diddy Kong, and I can't blame him. He's a twitchy little fella. I don't really know how to describe his gameplay, but I feel like it's a lot easier to get combos with him. And he's got some really solid specials with his Peanut Pop Gun and Sexual Assault. I call it Sexual Assault because he's going to rape you with this attack. But nothing compares to the utter vile that is the Banana Peel. Banana Peel! Diddy Kong degraces Mother Earth to use this attack, and it trips opponents. This is probably why people hate Diddy, but also it starts really nice combos, and I love him for that. I really enjoy playing Diddy Kong because he's just such a satisfying character to play as. The only thing I don't like about him is his recovery is terrible. I hate using it. It involves you charging up his jetpack just so he can fly upwards. It's not very reliable. I'm also just not that great with him. But you know what? When you get down to business with him, that's monkey business. It's also none of my business. Alright, you can stop. Alright, stop it. Cut that out. That's annoying. Stop. Just stop it. Stop. I always liked Fox a lot, but I have no idea where this sudden love for Falco came from. Fox and Falco are pretty similar besides different jump heights, movement speeds, and slightly different specials. I guess if the movement speed increased in this game, Fox became just too fast for me, so Falco is the perfect speed. Not being too terribly fast, but having just the right speed to where I can get nice combos, especially in the air. Due to Falco's higher jump height, I'm pretty sure you're intended to fight more so in the air, and it certainly helps that his aerial attacks are great. These smash attacks hit like a truck. His specials are mostly just around the gray area. Some of them are definitely useful. His side special can spike for some reason, but feels like he's more focused around just using normal attacks. And I've used Firefox to search up my favorite websites, but I've used Fire Falco for different edge guarding techniques. I'm not sure how well this actually works, but it is fun. Oh, and also his neutral special. Fox's, it just uses a regular laser beam that doesn't flinch the opponent but does damage. Falco's does more damage but fires slower, and it does flinch, which means you can get stupid stuff like this. Alright dude, seriously, you can stop now. Am I playing online with a cloud or something? Has a Smash Bros. Montage video ever made you want to play a certain character? Because despite my initial thoughts, Pac-Man can pull off some crazy stuff. It made me want to try out different options with him, and it made him more fun in general, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Even though I used to play Pac-Man a lot in Smash 4, I never really saw him as anything too spectacular. He has a lot of options though that I just never explored. Whenever I'm playing Pac-Man, I think more around his down special and neutral special. But Luggo, all you do with those is you place down the hydrant and then you punch it a couple times to launch it at somebody else. And with the neutral special, all you have to do is just bust out the key and you'll have yourself a key to victory. It's what every non-Pac-Man player would say. A lot of people use the fire hydrant just, you know, as a projectile, but you can do... well, whatever that nasty thing was supposed to be. And his neutral special is one of my favorite attacks in the entire game. He'll shovel through a bunch of different power fruits and bonus items, and then you can throw whatever you have, but each of them has a different property. Here comes the airplane! Hey man, I made some jello for you. Oh no, thank you, I don't want any. Yes you do. No, I don't. Yes you do! Editor's note, that's not jello, that's a bell. So here's the thing, I kinda dislike the way that they went about balancing the new characters. Besides Ridley, all the new characters seem to have some super powerful thing about them with one huge weakness. And I don't care how big that weakness is, one huge downside is not necessarily going to balance the character. So what point am I trying to make here? Am I talking about a new character to the game? Well yeah, I am. It's... So first off, I'm incredibly happy that King K. Rool is in Smash. He was the character I wanted in there the most. King K. Rool is a heavyweight class character. In fact, he might just be the most heavy of the heavyweight. But he's also the most different, packing two projectiles in the form of his blunderbuss and his crown. The crown being a good way of catching opponents off guard, and the blunderbuss just being fun to use. Also, he's the only heavy character I can think of that has a counter that not only counters physical attacks, but reflects projectiles. And then there's the number one thing that makes K. Rool stand out. His incredible super armor. For those of you who don't know Smash terminology, super armor is whenever a character doesn't flinch from an attack. Now how many of K. Rool's attacks have super armor? Well... I don't know which one's more broken, this or his down throw to side smash combo. Or Incineroar's rage, it's not balanced, this game is not balanced. On the topic of broken things, you can actually break the super armor, much like how you can break a shield. But when does that ever happen? Please, tell me, when? But regardless, I still think K. Rool is a great addition to Smash Bros. And a nice breath of fresh air for heavy characters. So, speaking of broken... I remember not too long after this game was released that I played Inkling. She was my secondary! Oh, how times change. I still really enjoy Inkling, it's just, once again, with the jittery characters, Inkling moves around really fast. In this game, I have a hard time getting a hold of fast characters. But, to my surprise, Inkling's been discovered to be one of the best characters in the game. Her aerials are amazing, she has a great recovery, and a nice down special. But what makes her broken? Well, quite a few things actually. You know something as simple as a running animation? She sinks into the ground, and it's harder to hit her this way. There's also her side special, the roller, which can bury an opponent into the ground, leaving them open for a smash attack. But her main gimmick is the ink mechanic. You get somebody covered with ink with one of your specific attacks, and they take more damage. They are most certainly going to nerf this at some point, whether it's reducing the damage or lowering the amount of time you're inked, or both. With the right combo going, you can absolutely dominate somebody with this. I have no idea how they took a look at this and thought it was okay. Let's just say this squid ain't kidding around. You get it? Worth it. You know who I hate? I hate Mario. His combos are super annoying. I hate Simon and Victor. Their projectiles can hit you from pretty much anywhere. I hate Zelda. Her new player mentality is get away from me! So how come I can't tolerate these characters at all? Yet I love Ness. Much like Diddy Kong, Ness was a character absolutely hated by just about everyone. The difference is, Diddy Kong received a lot of nerfs in this game, yet they buffed Ness for some reason. But for the longest time, Ness was a character I didn't like at all. Not because I found him annoying, but I didn't like his playstyle. In Melee and Brawl, I completely ignored him, and it wasn't until Smash 4 that I picked him up. And it was there that he became my secondary character. I loved him. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way. PK Fire, grab, down throw, and then side air. Everybody knows that one, but yet all the people online love to spam PK Fire whenever Ness has much more to him than just that. His aerials are fantastic for building up damage and finishing off opponents. He can heal from projectiles and has PK Thunder as a long range attack. Ness was like the perfect mix of a character I've always wanted, one that can build up damage but also has just enough killing power. Building up damage with PK Fire or one of his aerials and then finishing them off with a back throw or forward smash. Or you could get a little bit flashy, if you know what I'm saying. The biggest thing that you have to work around with Ness though is his recovery. Since he has a high enough jump, he instead has to redirect PK Thunder into himself to get anywhere. If PK Thunder is messed with at all, then it can completely screw you over. I mean, I still enjoy using it more than Diddy Kong's because it has great finishing power and also it's just super fun to kill someone with. The only reason why Ness isn't any higher is because I don't play as him much anymore. I've picked up other characters, but I'll always love Ness. Until of course that one day I'll inevitably run into an annoying Ness player who spams PK Fire every 2 seconds. This is a very sad and corrupt world that we live in. So I went back to Super Smash Bros. Brawl a few days before this game came out so I could test out the characters that didn't return in Smash 4. But I had a little bit of a weird thing. First character I played as was Wolf, and to be honest I was kind of disappointed with him. I don't know what it was, but he just didn't feel all too right in that game. Yet I played Snake in that game and I freaking loved him. And I don't know what it was, but all of a sudden that completely swapped whenever I picked both of them up in Ultimate. I was disappointed with Snake. I mean, he felt a little too slow and stuff, as well as his projectiles feeling very delayed. Yet Wolf? Let's just say you'll never catch me playing as Fox ever again. What usually makes a Smash character for me is their special attacks, yet Wolf actually has some of my least favorite ones. His neutral special is just okay for pot shots and stuff. His side special has a really awkward sweet spot to hit. Personally, I'm just not a fan of these special attacks, but what makes Wolf for me is his regular attacks and smashes. Literally just hitting someone with Wolf is super satisfying, but also I think he might just be the character I'm best with at combos. So if those two things combined, as well as some extra super duper Luggo sauce, this makes him incredibly satisfying to play as. Maybe it has something to do with hitting someone with Wolf's sharp claws, or sometimes the game will briefly pause whenever you hit somebody. I don't know what it is, but it's so amazing. I do find his side smashes kind of hard to hit, but it's his up smash that really seals the deal. He'll swoop to the left and right for just a second, so that means you can catch someone before he does the final kick. Like I've said multiple times now, the sheer satisfaction I get whenever I get someone into a combo or hit them with a smash is what puts Wolf this high up. You want to win? Can't let you do that, Fonzo. If there was one character I wanted to get good with more than anyone else, it would have had to been Ganondorf. In Smash 4, I enjoyed playing him a lot, but the problem was I wasn't very good with him. And then came around Smash Ultimate where they gave him a ton of buffs and stuff, and you can definitely tell that I've finally gotten a hold of him. For those of you who don't know, Ganondorf started out as a clone of Captain Falcon. Though as Smash games continue to come out, Ganondorf becomes more and more distinct from Captain Falcon. And this game's no different, making his Smash attacks actually use that never-before-seen sword. And that's certainly not the only buff. Now, Ganon's always served the alternative of being a stronger character but being slower. And that's the thing about Ganon. Regardless of what attack you use, you're going to be putting your opponent in a bad position. It doesn't matter how much damage they've taken, they should constantly be worrying when fighting Ganondorf. If hit at the edge of one of those smash attacks, you're going to die. But that's not his only option for absolutely obliterating somebody. He's also got the Warlock Punch. It's pretty much the Falcon Punch, but with 95% less memes. Did I mention that this has super armor and can be turned around mid-attack to do extra damage? Fonzo, you're back? How many times do I have to tell you to stop playing this game with me? So, I've been investigating some stuff about King K. Rool, and I don't know if he can be placed on the list anymore. I might have to remove him. Sure, he's fun and all, but he's ultimately a fraud. He ain't no king, he's just a fat crocodile who got a kid's meal at Burger King. In fact, he's a usurper. He took the place of the one true king. But that king is back, better than ever, to retrieve his throne.
I am a superstar warrior!
He's back, and he's never been so perfect. So, King DDD was the first main I ever had in any Smash Bros. Game. If you're wondering, he was my main in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. In Smash 4, however, he was my main for a short period of time, but I kinda lost interest in him. It was mostly because he had a pretty rough transition, but in Ultimate, he more than earns the title of King. He feels less sloppy and more fast, he's stronger than ever, and his already existing attacks have gotten more polish. As an example, let's take a look at his neutral special. In previous games, it would just suck up enemies and you could spit them out. In this game, you can suck up and spit out projectiles. Using this new ability, combined with DDD's Gordos, make him a blast to play. I don't want you to get the impression that that's all there is to DDD though, because his Gordos can also be used as an excellent edge guarding method, and it's either that or people are just kinda dumb. But his Jet Hammer does a ton more damage and can even break shields. His recovery is kind of a mixed bag. On one hand, I love hitting enemies with it, but on the other hand, it can be abused and downright frustrating to get back onto the stage with it. I just hate how you're locked in place, and also, if you're fighting against a character that has a counter and you get up to a high percent, you're screwed. But I'm willing to put up with that one issue if it means I can have fun with DDD again. It was my main in Brawl for one reason. Back then, I used to not play so competitively and I wasn't all about getting really good at the game or whatever. I just found him a really fun and silly character to play as. And nowadays, he's not only just a silly character to play as, but he's also a very versatile and powerful character with several options. Long live the king! In order to do this entry very well, you know, the entry talking about my favorite character and all, I'm going to have to hit the point right home. Gotta get the crosshairs and hit right there, right in the center. And it's a good thing that I've got my good old gun to do so. But Luggo, you can't have guns on YouTube! Dude, this is a toy. I don't know where to begin with my favorite character, Duck Hunt. I know that it's a really weird choice, but Duck Hunt has so many unique things about him that make him clearly stand out from everyone else. First off, right off the bat, he has my favorite attack in the game. The can. The can is an amazing projectile. You send it out and you can just leave it laying there, or you can press B to make it go flying, or heck, you can even interact with it. Repositioning it with one of your attacks is vital to get the most value out of it. It is beyond satisfying whenever you launch it halfway across the stage and it ends up hitting somebody. This flippin' can is the best can in history. No more camels, no more beans, no more nuts, just explosive cans. And plus, there's so many other things about Duck Hunt that have been buffed, such as the clay pigeons or wild gunmen. The gunmen have killing power now, and the clay pigeons are very useful in getting combos. He has really solid aerial attacks. I mean, what more could you possibly want? Well, the reason why he's number one is because of how much there is to learn and how much potential there is to his toolkit. Like I said, the can is my favorite attack in the game. I want to learn how to use it more effectively so that I can do my best at performing in a match. Playing Duck Hunt is almost like playing a game of poker.
They're dogs! And they're playing poker!
No, get back down, calm down. Anyway, what I mean by that is trying to make the most of what you're dealt with, what position you're in, who your opponent is playing as, and where your can is positioned. Sure, every now and again you're going to be dealt a bad hand, but what you have to do is try and make the best of that situation. But what's really satisfying is getting yourself out of that situation and turning the tides. Maybe your can was in the right position, or what if your other attacks pressured the opponent? It's stuff like this that makes Duck Hunt so much different, so much more unique to play as, and so much more amazing to play as. And plus, I've just had so many moments where I got my opponent in the exact position to where I could just keep beating up on them and throwing everything out and they just don't know what to do. Now, I'm going to be one to admit, Duck Hunt is not my best character. In Ultimate, they changed him enough to where, while he is certainly better, he's hard to get accustomed to. He doesn't even have my highest GSP ranking, that would go to Ness. But there's so much more to learn, and so much more to do with Duck Hunt. In fact, I just learned something recently about storing knockback into the can. I want to stick with Duck Hunt so I can learn so many fun strategies with him. He may be an old dog, but he's got so many new tricks. I'm Luggo the Luggician, and I should have waited a month to make this because Piranha Plant would obviously be number 1.